Welcome back to another episode of Horton Adventures. This year has taken us places we never planned, not just on the map, but within ourselves. Before we rush into what's next, we wanted to slow down for a moment to reflect on why we started Horton Adventures, what this year has taught us, and where we're heading from here.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say.
Since last week's gasoline-fueled adventure, we've spent the week resetting the van, including a deep clean and reorganisation of gear. We're on the move fairly constantly for the next few weeks, socialising, camping, and with a bit of photography work. So this reset was great before all of that. We did also manage a night in at Dunsdale Recreation Reserve, where we did the hour-long river loop walk with Teddy. So before we jump into our end-of-year wrap-up, come along with us for a beautiful stroll in the native trees on possibly one of the most overlooked and underrated bushwalks in Southland. those who have been here a while, you'll already know that at the beginning of this year, Matt and I took the plunge into full-time travel. By selling up our beloved property, buying this 4x4 Jayco Sprinter motorhome, and taking to the road in order to experience more adventure and a life filled with travel, memory making, and more play. And although we still really feel like we're just getting started, we thought to end out our year on the channel, we'd ask each other some reflective questions, chat a little about lessons we've learned, and the actual reality of life on the road versus just the highlights. We'll share some favourite moments, our plans for next year, and even break down what we've made so far from this YouTube channel. Lowest moment of 2025 in van life?
Probably my lowest moment was just when we weren't getting looked after very well by the company that we bought it off. Yeah, it just seemed like everything was a bit too hard for them.
I'm probably the same as you. There was just a period of time there, about a month, where it just got really difficult. There was things that were going wrong. We weren't getting the support that you would expect when you spend so much money on a brand new van, and we're under time pressure. The weather was against us. Yeah, there was a few weeks there that I was pretty down in the dumps about everything. That's probably the lowest moment.
Yeah, it was exactly the same for me. My best moment of 2025 was actually this past weekend, just been doing the 24-hour farm bike race. That was really good fun.
I don't know if I can pinpoint it to one moment in particular, but there's two things about this life that I think of, the lifestyle that we're living now versus when we had our home and we were stationary. And the moments that I live for are when you wake up somewhere like idyllic, like where we are right now, and we're the only people around and all I can hear is nature, and it's beautiful looking out the windows, and it just feels like the world is your oyster. And we've had a few of those epic camp spots, and well, not just a few, we've had lots of them, and those are moments that just make parking in a freedom camp with 50 other freedom campers when you're on a mission somewhere, that it makes all of that worthwhile. And then the other moment that I think of about this year is that we've actually had the time to say yes to things. We've had the time to say, yes, we're going to hang out with our family or our friends. Yes, we can go do this with people. Yes to camping. Yes to things like your farm bike race. All those things that we can say yes to because we don't have other obligations. And I feel like we've had so much more time for our people. And at the end of the day, that's what we wanted. We wanted more time for what really matters. And that was experiences and people.
Yes, 100%.
Has this year lived up to our expectations, do you think?
I would say yes and no. We've definitely had some good times and we've had some hard times. But yeah, overall, it's lived up to it, but not probably what we thought it was going to be like initially.
Yeah. In what way?
Oh, I guess you think you're just going to be in holiday mode the whole time and going to have great weather and not going to have any problems. But we had all of the problems. We had bad weather, issues with the van, just things that are out of your control.
I think it has lived up to our expectations. We both knew it wasn't going to be like this romantic version of van life that you see. Like, we've watched enough van life videos to know that it's plenty hard.
What surprised you the most about this year on the road?
There's that meme, like that funny reel that goes around where that little kid's like,
uh-oh, what? People. Oh no.
And you're like, that is you to a T.
Mm-hmm. It is. Most of the time.
But I've actually really enjoyed the conversations that we have and meeting people. And like a couple of days ago, a random lady walked up to us in a car park. I was working. I think you had just
Literally just got out of the shower.
just got out of the shower, and she came and knocked on the door and had a conversation with us. And those were the things that I was kind of a bit hesitant about, those sort of interactions with, and some of the random encounters you'd have, but I actually really enjoy them. That's probably surprised me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
What surprised you most about this year on the road?
I guess just that you think you're not going to spend that much money when you're cruising around, you know, just hanging out, but in reality you spend a lot more money than you would think, so we may have to work a bit more than we were hoping.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, we have got less costs without the house, but we also don't have food growing in our backyard that we can just go out and grab whenever we want, be at the mercy of supermarkets and butcheries and whatnot. What's been harder about this lifestyle than people realise?
I think you probably realise that your home is your vehicle and your vehicle is your home, and having those two intertwined can be quite complicated or maybe stressful at times. But I don't think until you live that and experience that, I don't think that you can fully comprehend that, because I knew that going into it, but until you're experiencing that, like in a couple of weeks we have to leave our van at a workshop for 2 days. We have to find somewhere else to stay, and until you're living that, I don't think.
I guess you trade one stressful thing for another, so you trade your stressful job in, or whatever that may be at the time, for trying to find somewhere to sleep, trying to find somewhere to park, trying to find water, trying to conserve water, going for a day or 2 or 3 without a shower. All of those things, if you were that way inclined, would stress you out quite a lot. Yeah, it's all pretty trivial stuff, but yeah, you just trade one thing for another, really.
Just because you suddenly have a very unconventional lifestyle that a lot of people would probably imagine as stress-free,
It's definitely not.
there's still
Yeah.
trivial things that stress you out. You don't
Yeah.
lose any of that.
No, they're still going to be there. They're just different.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has stopped being magical for me yet. I really enjoy it, even though we've had some rough patches and stuff, but we're still pretty fresh into it, and we've got a lot of stuff ahead. Still looking forward to where we're going to be going and where this can take us.
My answer is the complete opposite to yours. The moment it stopped feeling magical, I remember we picked up the van and we had our first few nights travelling down the country back to Southland with it, and it felt so magical and it was exciting, and the van was here. And then the very day that I went to start shifting our stuff into it was the moment that it stopped being magical for me. It was just so much more complicated than I thought, and I thought optimistically that I had pared everything back so much and that we had this bare minimum of stuff that we were going to put in the van, and then I quickly realised that probably we could only fit a quarter of the stuff that I'd set aside to put in the van, and I couldn't make everything fit, and it felt like there was wasted space. And granted, I probably shouldn't have been the one that moved us into the van, but you were still working. You are fantastic at stacking stuff like Tetris. But as soon as I started doing that, and the weather was awful, it was miserable.
Yeah, it was.
And we had a list of 100 things that we wanted to get done before we took off, and everything was just it was taking longer. The weather was holding us up, and
We both got sick.
we both got sick, that's right. Yeah, so that This is when it stopped being magical for me. Pretty quickly.
Yeah, very fast.
What would you tell the version of us that was about to upload our very first video for YouTube?
Just to stay genuine, and you don't change who you are for the camera. At the end of the day, it's your video. We show the good times and the bad times, and well, don't get me wrong, we don't show 100% of everything, because that's not what we're trying to record or to remember. But yeah, we show the good and the bad, and we're pretty straight up with everything.
Never forget why you uploaded the first one, because I had absolutely no intention of making anything out of our channel. It was purely for us. And the other day we sat down and had a conversation about that, about what videos seem to perform well versus ones that don't. And once you monetize, sort of thinking, you know, like, what could we grow this to? And then you start looking at your analytics and trying to be strategic. And when we first uploaded that video, we were uploading it purely for us, so that when we're grey and old, we can look back at all these memories. It'll be like a time capsule.
Yeah.
And I think if we just continue to do that and upload our adventures and the things that bring us joy, and that we want to go, man, we did that, or man, do you remember that amazing campsite we stayed at one day? I think that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how well it performs if that's what it's still achieving for us.
How do you know when to put the camera down and choose moments over shots?
I feel like I'm pretty good at this. I don't take my camera everywhere. I'm quite good at, even when I am photographing or videoing something that's absolutely gorgeous, I do often get to a point after I'm like, okay, I've got some clips, and then I just put my phone or whatever away. It's such a balance when you're a creative, to balance those two. Sometimes you feel like you're missing out on the magic of it because you're trying to get both. I don't just randomly take footage every single day of the week and make an episode from it. I usually have a bit of a script or a theme or an idea in mind that I know that I'm going to document it for, actually crafting a story from it. And I think when you do that with intention, it's easier to not pick up the camera. Like, we don't pick up the camera every day for YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah. I want 2026 to feel relaxed. I feel like we've packed a lot into this year. We haven't really started slowing down in our travel. We're still on a mission. And I'd quite like next year to be a lot more of just that relaxed. Like, you know, you find somewhere like this and you go, yeah, we'll be here for the rest of the week. Or until we run out of food or water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
What are you excited to explore in 2026, creatively or personally?
Geez, hard-hitting questions here. I had no pre-warning to any of this either. I was just saying to Heidi the other day, again, that 24-hour farm bike race, I really enjoyed doing that, and I've been asked to do some mountain bike challenges with another mate of mine quite a few times, and I haven't been able to make it to them for work or various reasons, but I'd really like to do some more challenges like that, just to push my limits a wee bit and see what I'm capable of, and maybe get my fitness back up for it.
I'm excited to explore more about what I can do with our YouTube channel. Like, it is a real creative outlet for me, and you always say, you know, you have this advantage, you're a photographer, and that translates. And I always say, no, it doesn't. Videography is so different, and I'm such a amateur at it. But I do understand what you're saying, and I do think some of it does translate for sure. But I'm also loving learning how to get more creative with video, and it doesn't matter whether it's with photography, like with my portrait photography, or with a YouTube episode. It's storytelling, and I love that. So I'm really excited to explore that creatively, because as much as I say that we really at the heart of it just do it for us, I also can see the potential. I think I can make something really cool out of it.
Yep, I agree.
The one goal that I had for YouTube at the start of this year, I guess, when we decided that we were doing this, was to monetize our channel by the end of the year. Like, I thought, if we could monetize our channel, and like, how cool would it be if YouTube became something that we could use to help fund our travels and to be able to bring more of our travels to YouTube. So that was the goal. And on the 3rd of November this year, we became monetized, thanks to all of our awesome subscribers and every single person that watches, anyone that likes our videos and comments and interacts with us. That has been the reason that we've been able to get monetized. And so from the 3rd of November, we actually started being able to get paid for the ads that show in amongst our videos. And there's a bit of confusion around YouTube monetization. So YouTube creators like us get paid a really small, like cents on the dollar, for YouTube ads that go in. And when you're monetized, you get paid. So if you don't have monetization on your channel, so previously we never got paid for any of those ads that were shown, but now that we're monetized, we do. And that doesn't cost you anything to watch those ads. It doesn't cost anything as a user either to subscribe to our channel and like our videos, or to comment. So all that stuff is free as an end user to enjoy and to interact with us, but it all helps us. So the more subscriptions that we have, the more likes and interaction that we get on videos helps us grow, because YouTube sees that there's interaction and that people are watching your videos, and so they push it out further, so they suggest your video to new watchers. So the other confusion, I guess, is as a creator, like, how much do you actually get paid from YouTube when you're a monetized creator? Like, how much are you getting paid for all those ads that people are watching? And it is cents per 1,000 views. So on average at the moment, our videos are sort of getting somewhere around the 1,000 views per video. And we're such a baby channel at the moment, but that is generating for us dollars. So since the 3rd of November to the end of this year, so just under 2 months, we have actually earned about 180 New Zealand dollars, which is more than I thought that we would earn. So in our first month, I think we earned about $90 in the first month, and that kind of blew me away, because I didn't think that we would earn that much per month when you're so young and new, I guess, as a creator. So that's pretty cool. That's like almost a tank of gas. So very grateful for everyone that has supported our channel this year, that helped us reach my goal of getting monetized, and really excited to see what comes in the next year. This could become something that ends up being a part-time job for me on the road, which would be pretty cool alongside my photography business. What do you hope people feel when they watch Hoarding Adventures?
Well, I just hope they feel that it's possible for them to do something like this as well. We're just an average couple. We don't have, there's nothing special about us. We've done the same as everybody else has for most of our lives, and we just decided it was time for a change, and thought, why not? Just jump off the deep end and jump into the deep end and just give it a crack. Like, anything's possible. You just got to give it a go.
You know, with discomfort and with challenges comes growth, and I definitely feel like we've done a heap of growing this year, and we know what we're taking into the next year and what we are learning to let go of and deal with. And it's funny, the things that I thought would stress me out about life on the road don't, for the most part.
Not now, anyway.
Yeah. We've found our feet it's taken some time to find our feet this year, but next year we are going to be getting into the flow of things. Thank you to everyone this year that has come along on the journey with us. We can't thank you enough. If you're new here, welcome, and we can't wait to bring you along for the adventures that we've got coming up this summer. And if you've been here for a while, we'd love to hear from you. What have you enjoyed? Have you liked the keeping it real, the dose of reality? Do you really love the places that we show and explore? Let us know.
I would like to thank all of our family and friends that have put us up in driveways and in paddocks beside their houses, lent us a vehicle if we've needed to go somewhere, showers, bathrooms, just kitchens. We've got so many awesome people in our life, and we're just so thankful to have you. You can edit it.
Yeah, I can put that bit in the alright, so what is ahead? We're going to wrap up this episode with what's ahead for us. What are our plans for next year? So what are our plans for next year?
Well, we've got a little bit of stuff in the pipeline now as far as travel is concerned. We're planning on heading up the South Island a bit more, and then eventually getting over into the North Island for winter. And we've also got a wee bit of overseas travel lined up. We've got one trip that's already booked and another fairly decent one that we haven't booked yet. We're still just trying to finalise that. We'll give you some more info on that later when things are actually finalised.
Yeah.
And we've got more of an idea of how that looks.
We're excited. There's lots of new places, both in New Zealand and overseas, that we're going to be exploring next year. So we're really excited for that. And of course, we'll be bringing you along for all of those adventures. I think next year, like this year, we've kind of been setting ourselves up. We knew it would take time to set up the van and to find our feet. We knew we'd make some money over winter and
spend most of it before the end of the year
setting up more stuff for the van. But we kind of knew that this was going to be a bit of a setting up period, and we have been working, like you have been working, and then I've had my portrait season and I'm still amongst that. But very soon we've got months ahead of us where it's just purely travel. So we've done the work and now we're heading into a season of play. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us again. Have a wonderful new year, happy holidays, and we will see you in 2026.
Right. And if you're wondering where Teddy's been, hey mate, he's just been hanging out back here in the bed. He doesn't really like answering all those hard-hitting questions. Hey dude, you coming outside? Come on. Good boy.
Fluffy. We're done with all the yakking now. Here, for the playtime.
What do you reckon about this spot? Eh? Pretty bloody good.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say. Every mile behind only brought us here. Now the road is clear. Shotgun ride on my Friday night, sunset fire.